necklace. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Maybe, ready.
Ah, we're on. I think we're on.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm delayed for a moment. Welcome to Giant TV's The Insiders with Liz and Amber. I hope you had a great weekend.
I had an amazing weekend, and I hope you had a good weekend, my friend.
I did. It's great. I can see you just fine, but of course, because I'm the one streaming, it's a little bit slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
It'll get better.
It always does. It's already getting better.
Okay.
It's already getting better. So happy Easter, and wow, what a weird, strange Easter, right? But it was wonderful at the same time.
Yeah, it was. You know, I think that probably for yourself and many of us, we maybe spent Easter a very different way. If you observe Easter holiday, you might have spent it a lot differently. I know for ourselves, it's the first time we hadn't gone to any of our families, and that's different for most of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And the expense of the meal, I found, I ended up just getting a ton. I wasn't even going to do any turkey. And then you had given me a message from my brother saying, do the turkey and just do the potato salad. Like, it was awesome, because I was like, I just had the conversation with my husband saying, no, we're not going to do turkey this year. What's the point, right? We'll just have like chicken or whatever. And then you gave me that little quick message from my brother, who is on the other side, I should tell everybody. And I thought it was so funny. So I ended up going and picking up just a turkey breast. And it's enough for us. And I didn't like spend all day. Normally I do a turkey and a ham and roast potatoes and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, it was just turkey and potatoes and veg. It was easy.
Wow. You know, and I noticed that as well. So anybody that knows me knows I have a big immediate family. So we all ready for groceries. I mean, we spend thousands of dollars a month on food to feed all of our children and family members. So, you know, when we go to the grocery store, when we do a dinner, a big dinner like that, it's already, you know, the amount of money kind of like escalates. And normally it's fine. I mean, we eat everything. We make sure we share with whoever, whatever, eat our leftovers, you know, not to waste. But this year, you know, we were fortunate enough to be able to get a turkey ourselves. So we did that. But because we have such a large family and a lot of them are older, cooking times are shorter and cleanup times are shorter, because it's just everybody's pulling together. So that's very fortunate for us to be able to pull off a dinner, because to be honest, I am not my mother and I would never be doing all of this myself. God bless all the men and women out there that cook up your own dinners or serve for like restaurants and catering to all of the people.
Yeah, it really gives you a huge appreciation for that. Yeah,
absolutely. And cooking is such an art. Like, it's one of the things that when I'm talking about, you know, clearing out your throat chakra, that's, you know, this energy field right in here. If you're experiencing communication issues, whether you're not being heard or having trouble expressing yourself, that's one of the things that I suggest to my clients, is to cook or to do something that expresses yourself artistically. So it's nice to be able to have that.
Actually perfect. Well, I took my eyes away from you for a minute, because I went on my phone to look and see if anybody was on yet. And hey, folks out there who are watching, thank you for joining us. Give us a little like or love sign and let us know you're watching. We've got Rita, she's on. Hi, Rita, thank you for joining us. Sabrina is on. Nicole, hi, she says hi. Amanda, hello. Amanda Dubois is on. She says, hi, ladies, happy Easter. Hello, happy Easter to you. And give those little girls a hug and stitch from me. Vicky Ray is saying, hi, everyone. And Carol is saying, good afternoon. Hello, welcome.
Hello, so, Vicky and Sabrina and everybody. Thanks for joining us.
It's very exciting. Jackie is chiming in. She's saying, hi, ladies. And Stephanie's here as well. Stephanie Little, good afternoon, beautiful souls. Oh,
hi, Stephanie.
So we're going to talk about a couple of neat things. We're going to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about angels, and Amber's going to chime in, of course. And Amber's going to talk about claircognizant today and the ability claircognizant and how we can really utilize these skills that we have or superpowers that we have to take advantage of that in this time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about our Easter dinner. Hopefully all of you had a lovely Easter despite the separation from family for most of us. If you're not living with them, it's different, but we're going to get through this. Like we're already 6 weeks in. Can you believe that? We're already 6 weeks in and we're doing good as a nation, aren't we? When you think about it. So I'm very proud of Canadians for that. It's lovely. So so make sure, I'm just going to give everyone a quick reminder. When this show is over, make sure you charge your phones, because make sure your phones are charged, because we are expecting that storm in the Niagara region area. So make sure you charge your phones so that you have a phone charger, fill your kettle, boil water, whatever you got to do, just in case we lose some electricity around the area, because I have a feeling that's going to happen. But why don't we get going, Amber? Did you want to talk about claircognizant first?
Absolutely. So claircognizance is something that is my strongest ability. And when I say that, people that receive psychic information, they receive it usually using the clairs or the clair senses. And essentially, I'm sure most of you that are tuning in have heard about the clairs. There are major clairs, and, we do have the Insiders show. We did pre-film, and it does discuss all of the clairs in, section by section. So we do discuss all of them, and that will be released down the road a little bit now. But today, claircognizance is extremely important, because what that means to us is that psychic information pops into our head. It feels like it's our own thought or a memory, or did I know that before? Or how do I know this now? Or do I know this now? It can play tricks with your mind. So it is also the clair that is the hardest to trust, because when you are having a thought, it really does feel like I should have known that, or I must have read that somewhere, or whatever. But when you do follow your instincts and you do tap into this claircognizance, I'm probably going to say clairvoyance at least twice during this. So just
similar though, like all the clairs are very similar. So, it's good that we're discussing each one individually, especially claircognizance, because it's you do blur the lines a little bit in some cases. So.
Yeah, and you use all of them. Like you use all of them to create a message. Now, when I say you're receiving a psychic message, this is a lot of kind of preconception or preconceived notions or ideas of what this means, because a psychic message does not always have to be receiving messages about the future or, foresight into something. A psychic message essentially is just any message you receive that is outside of you. So angels, guides, your spiritual loved ones that have crossed over, anybody from your spiritual team, master ascenders, what have you. The list could go on and on. So a psychic message just essentially means you're receiving a message from outside of yourself that you can use to relay to someone else, or to receive insight into a glimpse of something they want you to see, or to clarify or validate something that has already happened. That's essentially it, right, Liz? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, like I think one of the biggest challenges that I know I had in the beginning of using my own abilities was the trust factor, in trusting that I wasn't making it up, that the thoughts that were coming into my mind, or the images or what have you, however it entered me and became awareness, I had a real hard time trusting it. And I would often think that I was wishful thinking, or in some cases I'm making it up, or, it's a coincidence. I use that a lot. So if you're doing that at home watching this, know that you're likely 99.9% of the time, you're not making it up. I would have somebody, Nicole, saying, can they come through other people? For instance, my 4-year-old. Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the little ones, Nicole, I'll let Amber chime in after because she's got a lot of experience in this too. The younger children have no filter. So they are these beautiful little receptacles of spiritual connection. Like they will just, and they will say it so plain as day, like they have no ego or fear or anything in expressing what they're seeing, and they will explain it how they see it, which is so beautiful. But yeah, 100% children will share their insight with us, and it's such a blessing. It can be scary for parents. I have a site that I've created with my partner, Margaret Sample. She's my business partner. And it's called Psychic Kids United. So Nicole, chime in to psychickidsunited.com. And there's a lot of insight there to help you guide your child through that. And the number one thing is don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear with kids, like having insight. It's a beautiful, beautiful blessing. And the less fear you show, the less fear they'll have in expressing towards what they're seeing and experiencing. So I'll let you chime in, Amber.
You know, we're all essentially born with the ability to use our sixth sense, or our innate ability to receive what is not being said. So just like animals have their spidey senses, just like we have that gut feeling, or I should have done it that way, I knew I should have done it that way. That is your natural born given right and ability to be able to use, you know, the energy, or, you know, creating a message, receiving a message that you need in order to make the best steps and progress into your journey. So where it really starts to kind of go array is where you use your brain, your logical mind. Now, your brain is hardwired and designed to protect itself, to protect you from things. You are supposed to use your education, you know, your perceptions, the history, and make a hypothesis of what it is that you think you should be doing on your journey. Your brain is doing all of the right things. That brain, the ego, the mind, those are all things in which if you don't quiet it, or you don't get into a very, you know, go within consciousness, so go within, that you could lose out on so much valuable information, insight, and even experiences. So when your children are growing up, they're automatically doing what is innately their right to do, just as though it's breathing, or, you know, responding to fear with that fright or flight kind of emotion, the adrenaline. Those are things you don't see happening in your body. They still exist, you just don't see them. So as we get older and we realize maybe we shouldn't be thinking this way, or we shouldn't be doing this or that or the next thing, that's when our brain kind of starts to take over the center of the power and take us into this other direction. So when you are developing yourself or redeveloping yourself or your children, to encourage them and support them, you really do have to just kind of let that brain sit back and say, wait a second, like I'm going in this direction. Let's see what happens. Does it feel good? Does it feel safe? Like, how am I experiencing this? Because you have to know, like, even when, you know, this is a terrible example, but when you're, you know, going for a walk in the evening, are you thinking maybe I shouldn't go this way? And you don't, you go the other way. That's using your, you know, your gut. That's using your psychic ability to be able to receive information to save you, to protect you. And some of us can tune into that a lot easier than others. And that's really what I wanted to talk about claircognizance today, because that's what it is. That's that kind of like, it's popping into my head. You know, some of the other things that you might experience are, I just get kind of like reminded of a memory of my own, or reminded of a situation that happened in a movie, or, you know, that kind of thing. And what is happening is I'm using my crown chakra. So the chakra energy field that's above the head, right? So you've got it up here. That's opening up when you're receiving claircognizant information. So I already talked about what it is. I talked about how you could experience claircognizant messages. But what types of people are automatically the ones that would be more inclined? That's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I think you're going to find this really fascinating. Most of the people that are claircognizant are ones that are very educated. They have a high aptitude for wanting to learn and absorb information. They might be lifelong students. They are the scientists, the doctors, the nurses, the ones that need to see proof in the pudding, the black and white engineer minds of I can create, I can destruct, I can build up again. Those are the types of souls that would be the ones to be claircognizant, because they are creating based on those thoughts and things popping into their head. Somebody sitting and drafting up an architectural design is sitting here thinking, oh, I just got this idea, it just came into my head. Now I'm going to use my education to make sure it's safe, to make sure it makes sense. So those are the types of people. You might be one of them that, think this is totally illogical. This can't make sense at all. And I need to understand it. I need to really research it. So you claircognizance would be the ones to get all the books, all the reading, attend all the seminars, and show your brain that you've done everything you can to make sure you understand what claircognizance is. And so on that note, once you have surrendered, once you have opened up and you have accepted, you are the one that would go from 0 to 100 in a heartbeat. They're the ones that are today, I think I might be psychic, to tomorrow I'm running a professional holistic business. They're very they're very quick, they're very fast, and they get lots of information at the speed of light.
Yeah. Yes, that's a perfect way of putting it, actually, because it does come like that. And when people often ask me, like, how does it work when you are sitting telling me this information, like, and they get amazed, how could you possibly know? And it's like, it comes at the speed of light. It's just an boom, 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 boom. It just hit after hit. And when you trust it and submit to the insight, instead of going into fear, or I don't want that to be real, or I'm making this up, or whatever you're telling yourself, when the minute you submit and go, I fully trust everything my guides are telling me, everything. And that moment that you have that connection, it's such beautiful symmetry, isn't it? It's just, it's perfect. Well, I just wanted to let you know, Amber, Nicole came back and said she was sleeping, her daughter was sleeping with her the other night and woke up out of a deep sleep and had to tell me about all the blue she kept seeing. So that's typically spirit energy, or angel, could have been angel energy, it could have been her guides. So yeah, that's very common. My grandkids call it sparkles. They'll see sparkles in the room. Warren will, more than Peyton now, like as Peyton's getting older, I find that she's less interested, and it's weird because she's only 8. But I'm very open with it, with her, but I think Warren's more invested in like connecting with me on it. I don't know, it's weird. But he'll have really cool conversations about the other week we met, we did social distancing, I promise you guys. We met up because I just can't not see my babies. And we met up in the park to fly kites. And well, it's not a park, it's a plot of land across the street beside a church. And he was telling me that he had seen a guy laying on the ground on the way here. And I said, oh, did you? And my daughter's like, yeah, Mom, listen to this. And he's like, yeah, I saw there was a man laying on the ground and he told me he was dead. I said, well, that can happen sometimes, like we're going to run into people that aren't like physical, like you. And my daughter's like, so is it real? And I'm like, you should know, Stephanie, my daughter she won't buy into this. She's so gifted and she won't buy into it. It drives me nuts, but that's another show, right?
I'm listening. Keep talking.
Yeah. So my grandson proceeds to tell me about this dead guy. Where did you do with the plant, Amber? Bring the plant back. It was beautiful. And so I just explained it to him that, you know, we're going to see these things. That's mediumship, so that's a little different, and that's not claircognizant. That's clair. What's that one again, Amber?
Which one did you say where he saw?
The mediumship. That's clairvoyance, right?
Well, yeah, you can get mediumship through all of those different kinds, but clairvoyance is if you're seeing it, like an image is popping up.
Right.
Yeah. So him seeing that body or that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, clairvoyance.
My daughter's like, there was literally nobody on the street, Mom. Like, he's like, Mom.
There was no one there.
So yeah, and anyways, yeah. So yeah, talk to your child, Nicole. Ask her if she's getting any messages when she sees the blue in the room, or if she feels any way or specifically. Those are things that you can do to engage her, and definitely don't be afraid, because you know, I always tell everybody I would much rather have a million spirits show up in my house than a million or even one human. So it's much better. Okay. Stephanie Little says, I got the best message message ever about my mom this week, and it was confirmed today. That's awesome.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Good.
Arlene is watching, Adamson, and Debbie is watching. Debbie Mears says, hi, Liz and Amber, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Carol is saying, I dreamt that my mom brought me a budgie and unhatched eggs and a parrot. The eggs started hatching, and the parrot told me he will look after them if I go get the stuff to look after them. What would that mean? Do you have any thoughts on that?
So originally when you said about the budgie, my thought was birds to me always relate to freedom, to, you know, spreading your wings and flying. They also, because they have feathers, they connect to angel messages to me as well, which are very like compassionate, protective type messages. The eggs, you said unhatched eggs, Liz?
Yeah, so she got a budgie and unhatched eggs and a parrot.
And the parrot. Yeah, so the parrot to me represents somebody who is beautiful in power, has the ability to communicate in different ways, and also kind of is at the hierarchy. So to me, what I'm receiving out of this message is that you are, you know, concerned about spreading your wings and flying and taking that next step. You know, you have a lot to take care of. You know, you might be worried about having people or yourself to take care of. So it's almost putting your faith and trust into someone else to do so. And that's exactly essentially what the global humanity is doing right now. So it's probably just validating that. That's my insight on that.
No, I would agree. I would agree with you what you said about that. Dreams we're having, I know for a fact that I'm having incredibly, really prevalent dreams right now. Like just like off the charts, wacky, really delving deep into our subconscious kind of stuff. And that is part of the plan, right? It's like
excited and happy.
I know. It's so cool because sometimes when we can't consciously process something, mm-hmm. our subconscious will take over. And this is where these really I'll call them exquisite dreams, because they're multicolor. They're just like wacky things, like a parrot and a budgie, like, right?
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. They're just going to start coming through. And if you just logically think about it, and this is like using your claircognizance, like I use that for logical thinking as well. I always think, this is one of the things I should say, I'm digressing here, talking about dreams, but I'm going to jump back in. One of the things that I find people will have difficulty with is, and I just totally lost my whole thought there, Amber. Totally just lost my thought.
Well, you're thinking.
I was talking about dreams, and then I said, oh, I have to tell you about something else. Yeah, that's wonderful. Sorry, guys. Yeah, just come.
Well, while you're thinking about that, I was going to suggest Liz and I have, topics we want to chat with everybody about, but we will do one about just dreams. So you can bring us your dreams. We can help you understand the insight or interpretation that is there. Ultimately, the gift of being able to connect to dreams is something it's a beautiful gift. But don't take them literally. That's the thing. They're not literal. So if you have somebody in your dream that has died, it doesn't mean that person will die. It doesn't mean anything. You have to use your gut as to what it's telling you, and they're usually symbolic.
That's perfect. Well, my thought, guys, that I was so excited to tell you is completely evaded my brain now. Yeah, it's gone. But yeah, we're all having really off the chart dreams right now, and embrace them. Keep a journal beside your bed. Write them down, because you're going to forget them the minute you walk out of your bed. You're going to forget everything. So just sit up in your bed, grab that journal, and start jotting it down. And then you can come back and revisit it after. That's what I do, and it's awesome.
Speaking of, just before we go over to finish up, if anyone had any questions about claircognizance, drop them now, and then we're going to head over to Liz's angels. Yeah. But I had a dream 2 nights ago that Sylvia Browne came into my dream. Now, if anybody doesn't know who Sylvia Browne is, she's a world-renowned psychic, and she was most commonly known by appearing on Montel Williams shows and giving predictions and answering questions, and of course mediumship as well. So Sylvia came into my dream, and she had said, look, we're in for 18, she said. Now I was like, okay, because I get 18 meaning a couple different things. But she gave me an eagle, she gave me a deer, and she gave me a bunny. And then when I thought I was done, because I thought, wow, you gave me 3 gifts. A deer to me is very innocent, very pure, very, protective, like self-protective, The eagle is, okay, you can oversee anything. You have that eagle eye view, the bird's eye view. You're also very good at hunting, adapting, and foraging. Like, you're going to be okay. So you have that ability to oversee, but also feed and protect and forage for yourself, for your family. And then the bunny is very, how a bunny might startle and it looks like they're playing dead. So their prey goes away. It's almost that symbolism to me that she was saying, look, lay low, chill out. Everybody just needs to kind of go within, relax, and then hop. Now you're going to hop, because once you've gone in and you've relaxed and kind of played dead, sorry for the terminology here, but now you're about to hop. So you're about to learn different things. You're going to learn things you didn't know you needed to know, and you're going to adjust, and it's going to pick up super fast, and we're going to go boom, 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 boom.
That's perfect. I love that dream.
Yeah, just thought I'd share it. It was so odd.
That is so cool, right? Like, that's so cool. I kind of remembered what I wanted to say now, so I'm just going to pop it out before I forget again. It's what happens when you get over 50. Okay, so the collective conscious awareness. This is something that's been going on, and we're all really tuning into this collective conscious awareness in the world. This is why we're all kind of tuning in about, getting groceries before the pandemic even came to this country. So, we're going to be having this collective awareness, and we're going to start to see or feel vibrations about things. I feel like it kind of starts with like a fear or a judgment on a situation, and then we have this the ahas about it. So surrounding whatever it is, go with that and pay attention to how your original thought process is switching very quickly, because the collective, like the whole world, is on the same page right now. It's amazing. Well, most of the world. The more you think it or believe it, the more real it becomes. We really like the cool things that are coming out of this. And so I think one of the cool things that's coming out of this is our awareness of, we're feeling powerless, but we're recognizing that we're not powerless just because we're stuck at home. We're now really we're in that phase now, 3 weeks in, or is it 6 weeks in? I keep wanting to say 3 weeks, but it's 6 weeks, right? We've been doing this for?
March 13th that they had announced that things were going to start to change around here in Niagara specifically.
Okay, so
Ontario.
So it's 5 weeks? I don't know. Anyways, time is like blah to me now.
Slipping away.
This is slipping away. So just recognize these quick, very intense, huge awarenesses that you're having, and it may feel like you want to confront the logic or the normal way of how we've been doing things. Just recognize that hyper awareness that you're having on these things, and bank it, write it down, bank it, whatever you got to do, but stay in that hyper awareness, because we're going to see some major awesome changes come as a result of this pandemic. It's just going to be off the charts. And the idea of us being more in control of our own destinies, not leaning on the government, not leaning on, our jobs, not leaning on bigger things that we thought we needed to lean on. We're so being forced to go within right now, and it's awesome, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So let me, before I jump on to the angel conversation, let me just quickly, okay, I've just lost her. So we talked about the parrot and the budgie. Melinda says, Happy Easter, Happy Easter. Catherine Brown says, I love you both. We love you too, Catherine. Nicole says, I will for sure, not afraid at all. I'm fascinated with it. Awesome. Vanessa Hurst is watching. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa, I just thought of you today.
Oh, there you go.
I was thinking about Vanessa.
So that's probably why she popped on. Danielle, I am so happy to hear you say that. So have I. Awesome. Anne Vosella is watching, and Noreen Hudson. My mother-in-law came to me last night and said, I really need to expand my gifts, and she will be taking care of my husband soon. Not sure what that means. Well, their time frame on the other side is not the same as our time frame. So soon to them is like that. In our time, it could be
years.
Years, exactly. Like, it doesn't mean that it's immediate. So don't take that part of her conversation. Take the part that she's going to be with you and him, and supporting both of you as the lesson, as the message there, is what I would say. But you need to expand on your gifts. I would agree with her on that. We all do. We all need to expand on our gifts. And that's one of the things I should say. Just, you're always going to be evolving in this. Like, none of us are ever perfect. We're always evolving and learning. So don't feel like you're not good enough. That's another big thing that we all do to ourselves. Amanda says, Spirit does the same for me, Liz. Just pulls the thought. Laugh out loud. Yeah, exactly. And I have a question for you both. Sorry if this is not the place for it. Oh, well, she hasn't. I'll have to keep going down the list. So go ahead, Amanda. Catherine Lewis Brown says, I'm having readings with leadership, divine channel, beacon of light, collaboration. They've been great, but my stomach is churning. Hope that I do this right. That, this is one of our biggest things we need to get ourselves over. And how many conversations have I had with you, Amber, about my fears, about my abilities, or what have you? It is so ridiculous. Well, I'm not saying you're ridiculous, Catherine. I'm saying it's ridiculous that we do this to ourselves. Mm-hmm. You're going to do it exactly the way you're supposed to do it. And it's not going to be identical to anybody else.
It shouldn't. It should not be identical to anybody else.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just go with, as Amber was describing, your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, go with the inner thoughts, the inner feelings, like that. Well, the inner thoughts. Jackie says, hi, Amanda. Oh, she must know Amanda. Okay. Amanda's saying, okay, last week it was my friend's birthday, and his brother ended his own life on that day. He has been with me earthbound since then. My question is suicide part of the plan, or is it a hang on a second, is it part of the plan, or is it a deviation from the plan? I always thought it was free will and against the plan we create for ourselves. He's telling me this is part of his plan. What are your thoughts on it? if you don't mind, Amber, I'd like to go first and then you can share your thoughts on it. But the way it's been described to me, because I had a profound loss to suicide. So I did a lot of soul searching and questioning my guides on this topic. And what they came back to me with was, when someone takes their life, it's not, it's definitely part of the plan, to answer your question. Excuse me. We are given a soul plan before we even enter into the body. So before we're earthbound. And that soul plan is to achieve certain levels of awareness and strive to keep, enlightening the soul. Because at the end of the day, when we go back home, we're just a soul. And that soul needs to be enlightened in every lifetime. So it depends on your religious beliefs, but I believe that we do evolve and we come back and forth to keep evolving. So with that being said, when we come into this lifetime with that plan, we are given exit points. And those exit points are times when we can leave the body and go back home to heaven. We can either choose to use up all the exit points and have near-death experiences multiple times. No one person has the same amount, and it's strategically placed in your chart so that you can come or go as you choose. But if you go past your last exit point, and this is where it got interesting for me when they were explaining it to me, if you go past your last exit point, you have no choice but to leave via suicide, which means you have to take your own life. And that is something that a lot of souls will do because they want to stick around a little bit longer. And it's usually about a year to a year and a half from their last exit point that they have to leave by. And they do it because they don't want to leave whoever they're connected to here. They feel like, and again, the souls got this inner awareness, but consciously, like as a human, you and me talking to each other, we don't have the awareness when our exit points are. And we can feel them after the fact. Like we can go, wow, that was close. Like that was a close call. Like I shouldn't be here right now. But when it comes to that leaving by our own hand, we have no choice but to go that way. And so it's the soul's last exit. They don't have any choice. They have to take their own life. Do they go to heaven right away? 100%. Are they left a little bewildered or saddened by the damage that it's caused? That's one of the big disconnects that I find the souls that I've connected to will feel, that profound guilt, or even though that's not really an agenda in heaven, they will carry the weight of the sadness of others, and they'll stay earthbound because of that sadness that they've created for others. They're trying to stay connected, and comfort is how I would see it. So I'm gonna leave it at that, Amanda, and hopefully that answers your question. But I'm gonna let Amber chime in because I'm sure she's got some great insight.
Well, Amanda, I'm sorry to hear of your loss, your family's loss collectively. And I feel like I get a lot of souls that connect to me through readings that have passed tragically, whether it was through someone else's hand, accidentally, intentionally, or from their own hand. I too myself have had a connection to suicide. And so knowing the way that they tried to connect with me, I always connect with people who've already crossed into the light or to heaven or whatever you're collectively believing in. So when they get to me, they can come immediately. They can come within days, weeks, months. It really has no bearing on how quickly I've noticed them cross over, to be based on them being in a situation, let's say the term purgatory, or self-punishing or being punished. Or we could do a whole hour just on this, but in a short snap, we've got souls that can cross over and into the light and still can communicate with someone like me, who asks for vibration energy to be higher when they're connecting to me. So that has happened. They have been able to come through and deliver messages. Now, I just want to kind of point out that they can be more connected to the humans if there's something that they need to do, like comfort, or sometimes things like this might not have been done the way that somebody's interpreting them, and they want them to have compassion and some sort of comfort in this. Or there's something, if you're at the forefront of your mind and they're always there, you're thinking or you're receiving messages that might lead you to what their message actually is. So my suggestion would be is to ask your spiritual team and your leaders, your spiritual leaders, and the spirit themselves, and just say, you either are or not willing to communicate with them. Please guide you into how you're going to receive this message. If there's anything that you need to deliver or understand yourself, and then let it go, and then watch for the signs and the symbols to kind of be directed towards you. However, I guess essentially what I'm saying is I haven't really had a conversation with my spiritual team to understand suicide, but to answer the question of, is it part of the plan? Yes, that has been said to me before from all the souls that have crossed in this way. And it is sometimes, you might know that they've, attempted before or had a situation. The one thing I do know from receiving messages from my spiritual team with respect to this type of message, this type of passing, is that a lot of the people that choose to cross themselves over are humans in the human experience that have souls that are so highly connected to energy that they have trouble fitting in the physical form in the human experience. And that in itself can create their inability to understand and connect in such a way that it's overwhelming, and that could relate to feelings of anxiousness, feelings of sadness and depression, or addiction. A lot of people that are not grounded or have not accepted their abilities may really kind of use alcohol or drugs to kind of tone it down, to simmer it down, because when you do connect to energy, you feel, I use the term anxious because it's like there's a lot of energy, but it feels different at all times. So yes, they do use this as an experience. And is it to teach something for themselves? Is it to provide something to somebody else? Or I've had souls cross over so that they could greet the next soul in the family to cross over. So there's multitude of different things that have been shown to me around the time, and I don't want to expand too much. Sorry.
No, I think it's important. People, we've all got, different connections with people, and yeah, I agree with you. It definitely, it's not just about that soul that's leaving. It's about the impact that it's having on everyone around them, and the lessons that you gain and learn as a result of that impact in your life. So it does have a ripple effect. It's all part of the plan.
For instance, just to close this conversation, if you think about somebody who had such a profound impact on humanity while they were living, maybe that they were an animal advocate, maybe they touched so many lives because they understood addiction, they understood depression, anxiety, they wanted to have that feeling of fit in, so they made those people fit in. So when their crossing over happens, that compels their friends and family to lead into an initiative that affects a vast amount of the community, such as opening a fundraiser, collecting, opening a not-for-profit, going to, Parliament and passing a new bill. Like, there are so many different things that lead to more people that you might not have ever thought that you could reach. Exactly. Because of this. Yeah. Perfect. It still doesn't replace our grief, but
no, it doesn't 100%, but there's always a reason beyond the reason. So Arlene is saying, I have been having a dream about my mom's Aunt Elsie in the last 3 or 4 years. I haven't seen her since I was 6.5 years old. She lived in England. She has been gone for about 45 to 50 years. Oh, there's more. The last time I saw her, I gave her a huge hug and I told her I loved her. Why do I keep dreaming about her? Because she's reaching out to you, honey, and she made a huge impact on your life. You felt such a lovely soul connection to her. Yeah, I have that with my grandmother from the UK as well. She was such a huge inspiration in my life, and when you meet a soul that you just adore, there's still a strong connection even when they're on the other side. So,
you know, it doesn't mean that when they keep coming that something bad is going to happen. I had a conversation with a client of mine, and that was what the topic was for, you know, the vast amount of the reading was, where did it come from that you associated a visit from a loved one as to something bad was going to happen? So think about what you feel like, or think about what limiting belief or generational belief that it incites in you that gets you kind of thinking, does this feel good? Does this not feel good? Am I getting something's coming up? This is a warning, or is it a hello? Is it, you know, I'm feeling turmoil right now because the world is just so uncertain and I just need extra value. Like, I have gotten so many loved ones to come through of my own recently that I'm just like, oh, thank you. Like, just get, you know, a smile and a nod and a, you know, sending that love to them. But it's certainly just to let us know that they're around.
Absolutely. Elizabeth is saying, I think our planet is resetting, and I think we as individuals will reset our priorities 100%. You're right on the money there. Jackie Scudmore says, I've been saying since this starts that this is going to end positive instead of thinking negative. 100%. And you know, it's a choice, right? Choosing how we relate to anything that's coming at us. We're all going to react the same way initially, you know, fear, overwhelm, get our heads around, you know, like we'll use the pandemic as an example because that's the elephant in the room. But now you're starting to see everybody's calming. For the most part, we're calming down. We're accepting our destiny now. We're stuck at home. We're accepting that. We're, for the most part,
we are safe at home.
Yeah, we're safe.
We're safely stuck at home. We're retreating for wellness, people.
Yeah, like I've been talking to people who have done nothing, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. Do nothing. Just chill. This is maybe your time to relax. And I've talked to people who are doing amazing things, learning a language. I was talking to my friend today. She's learning Spanish, and she's speaking Spanish to me. I'm like, who are you? Amazing, right? Yeah. So it's just wonderful. Like, but just do you. Do what you need to do right now. But yeah, we're going to come out of this definitely on a positive way. I know that for sure. Kathy says, thank you, lovely ladies, for teaching in this way. This is wonderful.
Oh, I'm very happy. Thank you so much for that feedback, because we absolutely love providing insight and helping you guys expand your own consciousness. Yeah.
Stephanie Little says, I have been practicing and trusting so much more since the workshop, and it is easing my anxiety. Learning to go within and trust the messages I receive. Many thanks. It really was needed to trust and, oh, come on, there's more, but it won't let me see it. Trust and have faith, learning a new way of life. So she must be talking about a workshop with you, Amber.
Yes, actually, Stephanie just attended the intermediate Explore and Enhance Your Own Spirituality workshop that I offered. And of course, we did it in a Zoom virtual classroom. I limit it to about 10 participants per workshop. And we really did just touch on, you know, personal responsibility as what is this lifestyle mean, and how do you engage in it? You know, how do you see, how do you feel, how do you hear, and really just kind of, you know, practicing guided meditative practices to connect with your spirit guide, to connect with your higher self, and all of those things. So yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
You have another one coming up, so folks watching may want to chime into that.
Yes, I have a few. There's the advanced workshop. There is, you know, connecting to your higher self. There is the empath workshop in June, and there might be one more as well, but I'm offering them all of the time. So once I cycle through one group of them, I do like one, you know, all of the separate ones, then I start the next separate ones. Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody wanted to chime in and sign up for it, how would they do that?
Yes, you can go to my website, amber-price.com, on the event page under workshops. And of course, I always post them on my own Facebook page, which is Amber Price Psychic Medium.
Perfect. Thank you, darling. And we should put a link on the Insiders page.
Absolutely.
So can chime into that. Vanessa is saying, feeling thankful for you ladies. Such insightful information. Aw, thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Melanie is saying absolutely. Thank you, Melanie.
Thanks, Mom.
Amanda Dubois saying, I appreciate you ladies so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Amanda.
And thank you for your insight and perspective. This will help me very much. Love you, ladies. That's Amanda as well. God bless.
You're welcome.
Carol is saying, this is very relaxing for me as I had my brother pass over 30 years ago by his own hand. Oh, Carol, good. See, that's why you chimed in today. And you know, like Amber and I don't really know what we're going to talk about until you guys start chiming in.
Right.
We're trying to keep this as
it's unscripted.
Yeah,
it's real life. It's what do you need?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's why we love your feedback, guys, because we go through all the questions, because this is how Spirit guides us.
Yeah.
Glad you received some information that you needed. Elizabeth is saying, thank you, ladies. So enjoyed your talks. Awesome. Nicole says, it was amazing. Thank you very much. Arlene, thanks, ladies. This was great. Michelle is saying, you ladies are always so inspirational. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Vanessa is saying, Vanessa Karen is saying, is there some piece of advice you could give to someone who's connected with spirit in the past, but can't but can't get past fear now in order to connect again? Go ahead, Amber.
Yeah. This is it. This is what it is. So I am going to share a private experience. When I knew I could do this was just the way that it was. Like, I just knew for years and years that this was what it was. I was very fortunate to have a family who had already kind of talked to me about this, or this wasn't like a taboo topic. This was something that was just like, this is what it is. This, you know, you hear this dinging and, oh, you know, great grandma is with us or what have you. So it wasn't something that was to be feared or anything like that. Although it wasn't something that it wasn't also promoted either. Like, it wasn't like, here's how you do this. So when I started to really gain traction in this and really understand that my physical health was being affected in a negative way because I was avoiding connecting in this innate, you know, way that I was supposed to be doing it, I really started to research, because again, claircognizant, I'm like, okay, this does not make sense. How am I doing this? I need proof. I've gone to college like 4 times. This is not one of the things that I learned in school. So what's happening here? So it was Boxing Day one year, and I had a beautiful book, and I'm going to give this lady a shout out. Again, I'm always going to. So Sherry Dillard wrote a book called You Are a Medium. Now, Sherry is actually going to be, sorry, Liz, but Sherry is joining Liz as one of the featured speakers at the Halos this year. And we're going to have to hopefully cross our fingers and spread all the love and good energy that we're all able to connect in person coming up at the end of the year. We'll see. But Sherry Dillard, she's an author and New York Times bestseller. So I was gifted this book by my husband because I was like, I want to learn more. So he gave me this book, and I literally read the book on Boxing Day. Like, this was what I was doing. Everybody else was either shopping or doing video games, and I was like, no, I'm going to lay here and I'm reading this book. So in one of the paragraphs, it was how to take you through, it was a guided exercise, right? So I lay down and I shut my eyes, and of course, all the chaos with all my family in the house, and I was just laying there, and it was the most vivid. Like, I don't think I'll even allow myself to get back to that point, because my whole body was swaying and I was hearing music as though somebody turned up the stereo and it was that loud. And I was going with it for a few minutes. The person who came through for me wasn't necessarily the person that I was shocked that it was that person. Of course, I had a close connection to them, but it was still shocking that was it. And it was so strong and so powerful that then all of a sudden, after about 2 minutes of it, I thought, it's not stopping. And this is so lifelike that I jumped myself out of it. And I was like, wait a minute, was that scary? What was this? So you have to give yourself a minute to realize, like, were you okay in that moment? Were you okay to trust the person that was coming through to give you that insight, to take you through there? Because don't forget, the people that are connecting to you are also your teachers in this moment. They might have been your dad, they might have been your brother, they might have been your grade 10 science teacher, but in this moment, they are the soul that is supposed to connect with you to develop a respectful, trusting mentorship to help you develop your abilities. Because if it was somebody that you've never met that looks scary, that was, you know, you couldn't trust, you wouldn't be so free to go into this, you know, experience with them. So you are going to have the teachers that are people that you would know and love and trust. So if you know them, love them, and trust them here, allow them to be the teacher to guide you through this. So in hindsight, what I'm saying is, everybody has that fear because it's lack of control. And if you're somebody who likes to be in control of everything to a certain extent, to what we're even physically able to do in the long run, come to terms with this is an uncontrollable feeling because you're not in control. And once you get past that, then you can experience, like, it's amazing what you're going to be able to experience. And I always say, my angels and guides and spiritual team to protect me. I am grounded with my soul within my body, my physical body. I am grounded, I'm protected, and that nothing that is for a lower vibration or something that's not here for my highest good or the highest good of everybody else will allow to communicate anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself, sister. Beautifully said, beautifully said. So what I'm gonna do, we've got Judy is saying, I missed today. My husband took his life in 2010. We're so sorry to hear that, Judy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you didn't catch this whole show, go back and watch it when it's pre-posted.
Yes.
Done. And Arlene is saying, I think my mom's Aunt Elsie is my guardian angel. Yeah, likely she is. Vanessa says, tears as you started to speak. So glad I asked. I relate with you so much. I really appreciate the answer. I've taken a lot back from this. Thank you. That was you, Amber.
Thank you. I'm happy. Thank you.
So that's perfect. Well, we're gonna touch on angels just for the time frame. Like, how long have we been talking for, Amber?
Well, this is the thing. Liz and I always say, no one's gonna want to time in for more than 30 minutes. Let's just get on there, give our information, and go. And then at the end, we're like, holy cow, it's an hour. Let's, we just keep going.
Have we been an hour?
I don't know.
I think we have.
Yes, we have been an hour.
I apologize for that.
Sorry, everybody.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly touch on angels. These are angel cards. I don't know why I'm picking them up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the deck, and while I'm giving you your little insight to angels, because we're all feeling, a lot of people are alone right now. Even in a house full of people, they're feeling alone.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And one of the things that I learned years ago was that we have these magical beings, which we know as angels, that are always by our side. Always. You just need to call out. And you don't even have to call out, but I find that the way they like it to work is because we have free will as humans. We need to call out and ask them to support us, be there. Well, they're going to be there supporting us, but if we have questions or we need something from them, we just need to ask. It's that simple. So when I first heard about that, I kind of giggled and I went, yeah, right. I don't know why I didn't trust it in the beginning, considering what I do for a living. Yeah, no, because
everybody, you're not alone. Like, we have these moments as well. All of us have these moments. And then you're like, oh, this is exactly the way it's going to be. And then you're, wait a minute, does that work all the time? We know.
So silly when we look back and go, how did I think like that? But I did.
Yeah.
So I started to investigate angels more and more. I became obsessed, actually, with them, and just absorbing as much information about them as I could. And one of the things I discovered was how present they were. They are so present, and even just right now talking about them, I can feel them in the room joining us. And I'm telling you guys, if you're feeling lonely or alone, just ask them to join you and know that you're never alone. While I was shuffling the cards, I'm getting like a bunch of different things, but the one thing that they've given me is this card. They're helping you in your spiritual soulmate relationship right now. Please ignore my nails. I forgot about that, Amber. I said, oh my gosh, look at my nails because I can't see them.
You can't. I can't see them at all. I promise you.
I have like the worst looking nails right now. It's quite awful. But you know, the message is beautiful. I'm helping you in with your spiritual soulmate relationship. And I think that starts with you. It starts with you. Your spiritual soulmate relationship starts with you connecting to you. And I think that's kind of a profound message from them. So you're going to start to have signs from them. You're going to start to feel warmth in the room when you're thinking about them. You're going to start to see random feathers. They will fall out of the ceiling. It's happened. It happens to me. They will be on the carpet. They will be in random places in the car. And you'll be like, there's been no birds. I don't understand this. You'll question it like I did. You'll look up in the clouds and you'll see angel figures in the clouds. You'll see heart shapes everywhere. Heart shapes everywhere. Just know that that is their intent. Their intent is to support us, and we just need to ask. So one of the, because we're not, I want to sort of speed this up. One of the cool things I do with my angels, especially when I first started working with them, that I want to share with you guys is I used to ask them for advice on anything. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter if it was, should I buy this sweater or, you know, should I go to this place tonight? Like, I don't know. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I get the cat? These are just things that I was like questioning myself on. And so I put them to work. Like I really did. I was making these guys work like overtime for me. So I would say, angels, I need to know, should I do this? And I would say, show me a cardinal for no and show me a blue jay for yes. And I'm telling you, now we often think of like the actual physical cardinal or blue jay,
right,
which I have access to in my backyard. I have nesting pairs in my backyard. So it's really easy for them to show up. But I didn't have those nesting pairs until I started asking. Never noticed them before until I started asking. It was probably what it was. But it doesn't have to be the live bird. I have been out and people wearing Toronto Blue Jay caps or sweaters, cardinal sweater. I've actually seen a woman walking around with a cardinal like sweater on. Like it was like cardinals, like somebody knitted this thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, really profound awareness. You might see a prominent blue things or prominent red things. That will also be an indicator. Pick whatever you want, whatever you think you are going to be able to remember a yes or no answer to. Mm-hmm. And they're going to answer you usually within, like my timelines with them are within about a half an hour, if not right away for the most part. But sometimes I'm not paying attention and they get really obvious, like license plates with Blue Jays or, you know, like you name it. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's important that we connect with our angels right now. And Amber, do you have anything you want to share about angels?
Just when you started to call them into our session here, I automatically got this warm, tingly feeling. Like I don't drink, but the one time I did try red wine, like nothing against wine, just because of who I am, I can't drink. But I remember my whole body going warm, like my palms of my hands and my feet started tingling and everything just kind of was like, whoa, just a very warm, like covered you up with an electric heating blanket kind of warmth from the inside. That's what I got when you started using the angels to connect. So if any of you at home listening to this have gotten sensations that were different or an like how I also kind of describe it was, like, if you imagine like how much love you have for something, like just this overwhelming love, like you just want to tell everyone you love them, maybe like some of us when we drink too much, like, I don't know. But anyways, but that's how I kind of felt was that, so pay attention as we're speaking, like, what are you feeling? What are you observing? What are you thinking about? What popped in? What did you hear?
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to wrap up with, the final comments. Jackie's saying 56 minutes. Oh, she's telling us we've been on for okay, Carol is saying no sorries. This is awesome. Oh, thank you, Carol. Stephanie saying many thanks for your time today. So thankful. God bless you guys. I've always, as usual, have a blast with you, Amber. And
we have a great time with you always, and all of our viewers.
No, We're so blessed to have this, aren't we?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
guys are saying thank you to us. We just need to say a great big thank you to you guys
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Amber, have a wonderful day.
You too, Liz, and we will tune in next time. So I will also post something in our insiders Instagram page, the Insiders with Liz and Amber. Instagram has a whole bunch of different information that you can follow. And of course, Liz is, because I don't know if some of you know, but at the end of each month, we offer a giveaway, like a gift, like a prize, a trivia prize. But basically, you have to be following Liz's Facebook and Instagram, and my Facebook and Instagram, and the Insiders Facebook and Instagram. And then the trivia question will come from one of those places. And then the first person who answers it will be gifted. And of course, right now, a lot of it will probably have to be virtual or gift certificates or different things like that you can use when you're done. But I just also wanted to mention that, I'm going to post what the claircognizant traits are and different tips like that on our Instagram page.
Perfect. Perfect. Well,
all right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, Amber.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.